Good morning, sweeties. How are you doing today? Today's class is supposed to be about conjunctions, but because your exam was on Sunday, so I preferred to give you a brief revision about everything we took and everything included with you in the exam, which is better for you now because you have to study. And in order not to be confused, in order to make sure that you have all the pages and you understand every single thing, so you don't mix or you don't become like confused. So first of all, our exam. We are going to study Moonwalk from pages 295 to 305. You need to read it to remember the events. And then you have to do the pages required on booklet number 2, pages 4, 5. We already took them before. They are about vocabulary and comprehension. When you finish reading part, you have to go to grammar. The grammar included is only adjectives, adverbs, comparative, and superlative. Adjectives and adverbs, you can study them from booklet number 2, pages 5, 6, 7, 8. Comparative superlative, it's on Reader's Notebook, page 341. And when you finish the last one, which is phonics, that is going to be about words with double consonants. Reader's Notebook, page 331. Okay, 331. So let's start with the comprehension, which is Moonwalk. Now, Moonwalk, the story, if you don't have the book, in case you don't have the book, you can open it from this link, okay? You can read it to remember what we took before. You can also go back to the records that I made. If you go back to them, you can find every single detail you're looking for. Okay, the genre was science fiction. And remember, science fiction is always talking about science and it tells us about the future, what is going to happen in the future. And because it tells us about the future, so some facts are going to be true because they are facts based on science, and some information will be wrong. So not every single detail on the science fiction is correct, and not every single detail is wrong. It could be correct and true, it could be false as information and facts. The Moonwalk story was talking about two brothers, Jerry and Vern. Jerry and Vern went to the moon with their father, and the father went away for a specific thing he has to do. So when they stayed alone, they got into trouble. They had a problem. The problem started when Vern fell down and he hurt his knee. He didn't only hurt his knee, he also the battery of the spacesuit that he's wearing was loose, so he couldn't breathe because this battery gives him air to breathe. So they were in a big problem. At the end, because of their good luck, the boys were able to get to a nearby shelter, so Vern was out of danger and everything became good with them. The vocabulary you need to focus on are rel, runt, haunted, trudged, trench, summoning, loomed, and staggered. Now, rel is a long, narrow valley on the moon, if you remember, okay? For example, it's difficult to see rel on the moon. Rel is the long and narrow valley. It is a valley on the moon. Runt is an animal or a person or a plant that is smaller than the usual size. Taunted means mocked or teased, like you're making fun of somebody because of any specific topic you're talking about, so you're mocking or teasing a person. Trudged, you walk slowly because you are like tired, so you're not walking with energy. Trench is a ditch. Summoning means calling, and loomed appeared. Staggered means you're becoming unsteady. You're not walking straight, you are unsteady. Okay. When you're tired, for example, you can't walk in a normal way. You walk unsteady because you're feeling tired, you're not feeling conscious. Okay. These are the vocabulary you need to focus on. Now, when you go to your booklet, I want to show you everything. So here is booklet number 2. Okay. Here are the vocabulary. Loomed. You can just study loomed as appeared. Ral is a long, narrow valley. Runt is an animal or person or plant that is smaller than the usual size. Staggered became unsteady. Summoning, you can just go back to the same meanings that I give you here if they are easier for you. So you can just say summoning, calling. Okay. Taunted, mocked, or teased. Trench is a ditch, and trudged when you walk really or you are super tired, so you are not steady. For the rest of these words, conscious, feebly, and drift, not important for you to know, okay? So the first words, the first vocabulary that you found on the PowerPoint are the most important words. These are not important to focus on. Sorry for that. Okay. Now, let's start with the questions. Now, here I could bring it for you as fill in the blanks, write the meaning, or put them in a meaningful sentence. So when you study the words, you put in your mind that I could bring them as fill in the blanks, or put them in a meaningful sentence, or write the meaning of them, okay? Now, comprehension, the genre, as we said, it is science fiction. If I bring the questions for you to answer, so if I don't bring the question as fill in the blanks or multiple choice, and you need to write your answers, try always to write a full answer, okay? If I bring it as writing a question, because most of the questions are going to be fill in the blanks and multiple choice. But if I ask you to answer a comprehension question by typing the answer, try that your answer should be full answer. Science fiction is based on science, and it's often talks about future, life in the future. Why could Jerry and Vern jump farther on the moon? As we said, there is no gravity on the moon. Since there is no gravity on the moon, we don't walk like we are on the air, on the earth, I mean. No, we jump, okay, because there is no gravity. So why they could jump farther? Because there is no gravity on the moon. What was the main problem? As I told you, the main problem started when they got into trouble, when Vern fell down, hurt his knee, and the battery was loose, so he couldn't breathe. When did the sun begin to rise? The sun began to rise when the night ended and the sunlight started, it was creeping on the floor. And what were the stars compared to in the story? They just saw the stars like they are creepy eyes looking at them. So they were just imagining the stars as if they are creepy eyes looking at them. The comprehension questions for Moonwalk are going to be super easy, so don't worry about it. Okay, so the first part for our exam is going to be reading. You need to read the story again. You need to do the vocabulary questions here, and you need to study the vocabulary.